not the case.
All right,
Yeah,
here
and
we
I
go.
think it's something that Sean was
We
talking
got
about.
MIBR on
a
defense.
lot,
We got
that he
Furia in
likes the
attack.
Arbor
Let's
because it's
see
so
what kind of
tough now
stuff
for these
Furia get
KOs
off
to
to.
want to do these pop flash
Need a good
plays.
one.
It almost feels like you should be doing those, but you get punished for it.
Furia is on the attack.
Nice
Icebox will be the
shots.
first one to get tested and already besting the duelist on the opposing side.
Yeah, the king of Icebox strikes first.
Yeah, with the one pass and fake.
Vintage, and now it's all left to Cortezia here. And he's just going to play a retake style. Everyone's going to flood in from the side of MIBR. Furia do have some good post-plant utility, though, if they can actually get the spike planted.
Part of the issue is the timing on it, too, right? They do have some of that utility, but it's not currently up. I mean, Prize doesn't have missiles. Rafa doesn't have knife. They do manage to get the spike down. Now we're going to see the flood out from the defensive side. MIBR with the numbers advantage, looking to push the pace a little bit more. Spotting a scalp. It's Labored.
God, there are
But
no,
it's better late
there
than
are
never.
no
The
shots,
pistol, the way of
no shots
MIBR.
being hit, man.
Looking a little bit
The
too
Lotus
easy for
buff
MIBR,
is
a
not
little bit
here.
too comfortable. I think if I'm Furia right now, I'm a little worried
The
because, yeah,
Lotus
we got
buff
that
really
spike
is
down,
not
but
here.
when it came to that
The
firepower
coach on Vera,
exchange,
yeah.
MIBR just cleaned up house right here on this retake.
Vera Scream
That's not a good sign
Link.
for Furia. Khalil was talking about in interviews how
Soulcast and
Furia has a
Yampy
hard
was the
time
team
stopping
off,
snowballs,
well, before I left.
and this is just not the start you want, especially because Icebox is going to get closer to that operator online. We saw the damage he was able to inflict upon NRG with that. The first bloods.
Can I defuse or? I defuse.
Just alphaing his way through defuses on the team.
Let's talk about the vibes, though, a little bit, Doug. I mean, they're so chill. They're so lax.
Yeah, and I mean, all right, let's call a spade here, right? I think the record at the top of the screen tells you everything you need to know about the expectations between these two teams.
That's true.
MIBR should be able to best Furia pretty handily. Now, you know, any dog can have its day, but I do think you're right. For MIBR, they understand that they are the stronger team in really every way you could possibly imagine. And it should be relatively pedestrian, but again, this is why you play the game.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go through those motions. Furia actually got a big pick right there onto Artsy, and that was a Vandal that just got juggled
Nice
back
though,
by
getting the
Vern.
gun out of there.
That was with Classics, so...
Did we try Yampy on IGL back then? Yeah. We had a good, like, 3 weeks, I would say, with Yampy on IGL.
Utility joining in on the fun.
Honestly,
remaining on
again,
both
I still
sides.
think that it was like the best vibes for us wise, but there was like a little bit of issues in terms of
The Classics can do in these
confidence
close
and
angles. Icebox got outlaw,
overcooling
though.
from others.
He knows someone's here.
Yeah. It's going to be a pretty easy cleanup on that kill. Heat feeling the walls closing in. Getting surrounded left in 1v3. The spike ticks away little by little.
Okay,
but
nice
it's
and
Aspas
easy.
who gets his third,
Stay nice and
MIBR
easy.
gets his
Honestly, they
second.
did great damage.
And Aspas gets a little bit closer to having those blades in play.
Yeah. All things considered for the side of Furia, though, Spike was planted 2 times in a row at that A site. If they can actually keep getting into these sites and use their composition to their advantage, we might be able to see some post-plant wins. I mean, it's a stat that was popped up earlier. They have a lot of success on post-plants. I mean, it's one of the areas where they actually do find success, right? So maybe that could be an opportunity to bring back this half, maybe put up a little bit of a fight against the stacked MIBR roster.
You do wonder.
Oh no.
As the time
Not like this,
moving.
please. Not after the
You do
EME
wonder
day
how much of the
today.
conversation around the post-plant
This is too
success
much.
is, you know, maybe we're beating a dead horse here a little bit, but you do wonder how much of that is due to the fact that it was Lotus where they found a lot of those successes, and you know, maybe having success on post-plants, particularly given on that map, it does tend to lend itself a little bit more to that.
Yeah, I think Icebox is a really good post-plant map as well, though. I mean, when you look at this composition from Furia, there's a lot of stuff that can counter, you know, the scalability on the retake
The
for
EME,
MIBR.
what do I have for the
But they
games
have to play
tomorrow?
out. If you play in against that
Dude, we
harbor
get
wall
Paper
or
Rex
the Cascades where you
GE
can
first
isolate
game.
those
That
1v1s,
is so.
that's where stuff gets
That is
difficult
so
to
hype,
But
man.
if you can actually get into sight without
I can't wait to
using all
wake
your
up for that.
mollies and maybe still
Paper
have
Rex.
that
I have
second
Paper
round
Rex
of
winning
tail
against
missiles up after
GE.
pushing back,
Billy
you know,
against
an Opera
Wolves.
or
I think
an
Billy will
Icebox.
be
That
fine,
is the recipe
but
for
Wolves,
success
I don't know,
from the
Wolves
side
are
of
weird,
Furia. I mean,
man.
you're gonna have to do that. That's what your composition is
T1
made
against
for.
Talon, T1 are
Otherwise,
going to
I
be
mean, you
fine.
don't have that Sova drone,
And
you don't
then
have the dart to
EDG
really get
against
that secured info. And yeah,
that'll
KO
be
Dagger,
close.
it can be just so,
EDG against
so
Eli?
fake at times. I
sure
mean, yeah,
he'll
you
have
get a
for that.
tag on one person, but
The EDG game will be pretty
don't know
cool.
exactly where
It'd
he's
be
at.
nice if we get like early games
As
to
you
see
guys
that.
likely saw there
EDG
on the
against
stream,
XLG.
all of you detectives that are watching here in the venue and at home, there was a PC crash issue, and it was Heat. He was the culprit. At least his
Does
computer
Eli
was.
win
It certainly
this?
wasn't him, and it seems like we are
Eli
just
might
a
be
couple
able to
of
upset
moments
that.
from getting that fixed. He is loaded back into the game, so I imagine ready checks are just around the corner, and we will be continuing our venture and our foray into Icebox. Again, MIBR up early 2-0. Icebox has already gotten online. I believe he's 5-0 already with the Outlaw.
Yes.
You imagine, Dre, the op is inevitable.
oh, it's next for sure. But Furia did do some good damage. I mean, even in that last round, getting what, 2 guns out of the hands of MIBR. So economy should be shifting in their favor. If they can win this next round, not get bonused, maybe they can get stuff going. I mean, yeah, look at the economy right now from MIBR. They only have 2 Vandals with light armor and that Outlaw with full armor. But
That's
Icebox
supposed to have
is
the
getting close to those
Outlaw.
knives.
Everyone can tank a shot. Decide to go aggro over towards A with the War, Seb 1 up here. And they are looking for it. Big Joel for Aspas at the moment. Nicely done from Khalil.
Too. You mentioned that it really felt like they needed to avoid getting bonused, and so far, it seems like that will be the case. Big numbers advance away the attack. The spike is
Yeah, we're actually showing some confidence though.
It's only going from really bad to worse for MIBR.
Yeah, and fundamentally, I like the way that Furia are approaching this round. Havoc, it's kind of Havoc
Brew
go
100
kill,
Fuse tomorrow
you know,
too.
in
Wait,
that
tomorrow's
post-plant
actually
scenario
stacked. What's the
because they
other
got the
Americas
first
game
bloods.
tomorrow?
And that's what you want. Everybody else is playing util. I mean, now they're kind of hunting a bit, but
Give me a
if you
loud
want
game
necessary-
outside.
say that as he
Zen
still ends
2G?
up getting that kill, but
Yeah, that is an interesting conversation to have though.
That
because
should
you look
be
at
okay
situations
for
like this
Sen,
and you go,
though.
okay, you have the advantage. You know, you don't really want to lose it. You kind of want to play it smart as the flawless round goes through for Furia and they're on the board. But I do think for a team like Furia, who has literally nothing to fight for other than pride throughout the rest of this stage against what is considered to be one of the behemoths of Valorant across
should
any
be.
region.
It should be,
push the
yeah,
pace
it
a
really
little bit.
should.
Yeah, swing that a little bit more aggro than
You
normally
never know.
would. And let
Sometimes when
confidence
it's
go.
like a stacked day game-wise, the one that you
like
least
said,
expect
with
is
this
the
decade
banger.
team, I mean, this MIBR roster. one of the best
Okay,
we've seen
Aspas,
out of that
no
organization. If you
armor
give them
up,
that time of day and it actually
and
doesn't go your way, all of a sudden your economy's bad. Now MIBR is snowballing you. Here's that operator from
Molly.
Aspas.
Challenge early
Okay.
on, as will Shenham.
With the
Little
flash
fall,
though,
does not connect. Forced to take a step back, thrown in
leg
reverse.
shot. Molly missed
And
over
he's- I mean,
towards
he's gonna
middle.
have to
We'll
continue
ignore it.
backing up.
Yeah, blistering pace. I mean, if Furia can get this spike planted unscathed.
That's kind of nice for MIBR though. This is the person that got hit by the leg shot anyway. Ooh,
Narrowly missing the
little
second again.
sidestep
The
on that. He
aggressive
was
swing out
moving.
from Heat. It's proving to be a little bit too much for Aspas here. Now you take a look at the economy for Verno. You got 100 credits for Cortesia, 400. You're not fighting this anymore.
This is
That operator
a
getting
pretty
taken
nice
out so early. I
situation
wonder
for
if
Furia
are
though.
gonna try to pick that one up,
Double
put it
buy
in
round.
their own hands and maybe hold on their next default. But so far, you're right. Furia do not care whatsoever. They're swinging into Aspas's operator. I mean, he taking that 1v1. It almost felt like he should have dropped there, but
Havoc? No,
all
Havoc's been
that
looking
pressure,
good.
sometimes even players like Aspas are going to succumb to it.
Havoc on Duelist
That's
makes.
big. That's massive.
'Cause I didn't
Furia
really
to
like
fight back
Havoc
into this.
on
They're building up their own
Initiator, but
economy
Havoc
right
on
now.
Duelist,
In the last 2 rounds, the last 2 gun rounds they've
he
had,
wins a lot of.
only
I
dropping
mean, gets a lot of
one
fast
rifle, and
kills.
that was Havoc, who's gotten multiple
Got some
entries.
fast first bullet aim.
Yeah, that's not too shabby. You're right. You take a look at the right side of your screen there. There's money blooming. It does not look like they're going to opt into grabbing the op from the previous round or investing in one of their own, which honestly, given the pace that they've approached the attack side with, I'm all for it. Right?
Yeah.
Continue to push it. You're just forced into more of a passive situation if you're carrying an attack side op.
Yeah, and it's going to be an A default this time around, trying to
Good
spot
map
out
for
where
them
these
'cause I
jet
can
knives are
same
going to
draw,
be.
yeah.
Specifically,
So I'm pretty sure
Khalil
this
and
Molly
Heat are gonna
missed
have to
last
be
round.
careful for Aspas trying to do some type of aggressive play on the
Unless
B
they're
side
like
of the map. If he
purposely
gets that
putting the
first
turret
blood,
over towards the side
way
to
into
dodge
this
it.
round.
Okay,
Yeah, I
that's
say that as
pure
Verno
madness
just
from
takes the head off
Havoc
the
here,
Havoc.
but
He's having none of that.
okay, Molly does
Aspas
go
did
in.
pop
And
his
they were
blade.
taking a
Heard
duel
those
at the
at
same
beginning
time,
of
so
the
I doubt
round.
he removed
I thought
it.
Rafa might try to be a little bit investigated with this utility and try to catch Aspas with the knife at the beginning of the round, but I guess 115 is a little bit better. So now they know at least where that threat is.
And they just shot the Molly? Oh, okay. Then why is his
There's
turret
a lot
gone?
of weaponry here, and they're still opting to go for this. It's gonna be a brawl.
Icebox procs the dash, gets a little bit more high ground. Doesn't connect on the first blade. Still plenty more where that came from those. You see the spit hitting up back towards heaven. A little bit closer is Furia. Inch further up into the site. They
Ball
managed to
goes
get the
in. How
spike
do
down.
they
Now
play
we're
it?
gonna see
2
how
in
they
front,
deal with
2
this double
behind.
wall utility. And the Prizes ult. The situation just got harder. I don't know that there's a way in. If they're going to flood, they have to do so very soon. And the clock is ticking. Prize again, 11 HP. Icebox looking to be the tip of the spear. Is Verno's the first to fall? No. Real room.
Oh, hold
no.
up.
Angle
Oh,
found.
okay.
Very well handled by Furia. Artine and Shenum, 2 remaining with the gun.
Player standing.
Immediately falls. Shenum left in a 1v2. Again, Prize weak heat, not much better off, but there's just not enough time.
Oh, very nice
What a great
handle in the
comeback
end.
to the round from Furia.
3 in a
Down
row.
one.
This one got a little bit
Got a
close,
little
but they
bit
still got
dicey there, but
Aspas's
Speaking
ult out of
trying
them.
to handle that
Do they have to
harbor
time out, or are
utility,
we okay?
That Teo ultimate maybe would have liked to save that, but a win is a win. That delayed the retake. MIBR couldn't run in, and when the time is that low, you make a bunch of mistakes clearing out certain angles. Heat picks up 3 into that round. He's feeling himself a little bit here. And I feel like he's been a player for Furia that needed to step up.
If you did a heat map, by the way,
nice to
of
see
when
him here
Aspas
sitting
gets
at the
his
top of
op,
the scoreboard for his team.
I would say 9 out of 10 rounds he's on top
You know
of
how
this.
talented he can be mechanically. Just hasn't really been able to
I
show
do like that at least last time I watched it, MIBR were just kind of trolling him a little bit by just doing walls to block his vision. This time they're actually giving him free reign.
Gets his get back onto
But Furia just in there just spamming A hits every time they're up against an op, really.
I mean,
They had that other one where they went up towards B and flash corners. But
And a lot of that is off the back of Havoc. I say that, of course.
no harbor ult.
The curse.
But you are right. Reckoning now invested, going to flush him out a little bit further.
Still have curve.
Force them further back to their side of the map.
The late
Shutting
molly
the
you
line
can
of
tank
scrimmage.
off.
As Rafa falls, our team's gotten the defuse to half. Pushed off the spit. Now a second set of harbor utility that they're going to have to dance with and try to reckon around. Wow.
Oh, they lined up. Yeah, the harbor util here kind of worked against them, if anything. Like, Cove was obviously great, but then they did the harbor wall. Oh my goodness, nice shot.
And of course, it's Aspas.
Okay, very nice in the end from Aspas, like lovely shots. I think MIBR need to, especially just Arts, need to be a little bit careful with this util. Because sometimes you just got to stop it early and actually make sure that you can duel in front of it. Whereas like there, kind of just taking the angles off of Aspas.
Those Teo missiles were about to come back up. Certainly.
That was filth.
Yeah, but amongst the chaos in this situation, just jumping the gun a little bit too early.
Nice, let's go, boys, let's
was
go.
Prize. Now MIBR, they answer back after 3 rounds won by Furia, and another operator online for Aspas. He's got that A line, but everybody on the side of Furia is doing the B.
He does change it up though.
You look at that mini map, everybody's shifting over here.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same flavor, but it's just on the opposite side of the map. This time they have the lockdown they can play around.
You gotta respect it. They got a molly for stopping the plant. Molly goes out early. They plant to the side of it.
So
Got any spams on this?
Havoc might have bit off a bit more than he could chew. Scales past
I like
safety,
the
takes forward
idea
with
of
his
the.
life. Now Cortezia has an ult of his own that he can counter with.
Is this better than the one on the floor for spam? It might be.
Here in just a moment, Furia forced to sit back and watch.
Wait, I maybe like this ult if you do it all the way in the corner.
Excuse me.
He got pre-fired.
Verno on a heater. Numbers
Big
again.
mess.
The way of the defense. Prize and Khalil forced to try to take back some of this space and secure this spike.
One enemy remaining.
That's real tough, man. The MIBR retake there was pretty.
Yeah, a lot was riding on the shoulders of Heat in that moment.
I mean, I felt like a lot was
Bruno
just on
understanding that
the flash
only gap
push
in
back
that
to
Killjoy
sight.
ultimate is the back of Yellow,
Right.
and he pre-fired Heat. That was so fast. Heat had no time to react whatsoever. And it's this duo of Aspas and Birdo in tandem.
No, I left on my own time.
Oh, he saw him on the
Oh,
jiggle.
that's
That's what it was.
Outrageous
I do think, though,
pre-fire.
you were right. That's one of the only places somebody could be
Yeah.
back Yellow
Let's
around
go.
it and be safe.
And it was this half in, half
The
out
early
approach
molly,
from
I mean, they
Furia
had to
that
do
kinda
the
led
early
to their
molly.
demise.
It was just going to get
Two
shot
players
otherwise.
pushing into Snowman right there, just getting completely punished. This time.
Different look from the attack here, yeah.
Yeah, no, they're going towards A. It's been an A-B. I feel like it's really readable from the side of MIBR. They should know that there's a ton of players here. The KO is kind of making it obvious. Hopefully, Furia understand that and start throwing some feints with that utility. Make the players of MIBR second
I don't
guess
have to lie.
where the attack is going to be.
I feel like I would have worded my tweet a little
That frees the
different if
round
I
to do
had
just that,
been
but that
kicked.
turret being broken. Deny some of that late round aggression.
Knife out, drone out. And
Free
again,
side
taking
though.
space behind
Free
Price is
side.
gonna get a little
We
bit
got
closer. Bring
Vona's
Reynolds
ult
online.
to
Already
stop the
getting into play
plant.
now.
Tap of the spike, insta
Waiting for
ult.
Flood to come back out. Note that Verno has his ult, Shenum has his too.
Oh, late ult.
Tezia heard all these footsteps from Havoc as well.
Our team, the first to fall. There was just Cortezia, as you were mentioning, trying to spam through the wall, gets the best of Havoc. He's got a timing. He's got some space. And he's just made the map a little bit smaller. Now the defense with full eyes, focus forward.
Oh, we're
Price.
going for this.
Yeah,
10
you
seconds
have
until
to
the
tap
salvos
out,
come back.
ult out and bait it out. That's exactly what they do. Now the real game is afoot. Can they flood him behind it and try to get a little bit more space?
It's a great shot.
That's a big ult invested, man.
They're doing good on the
No value
retakes at the
behind
moment.
it.
3
From
for
the
3
ropes.
in a row.
Also a Viper's Pit invested too. But Cortezia, he just spams him. And
You blame me? What are you
that's
blaming
it.
me
I
for?
mean, Khalil, it's just unfortunate.
What am I being blamed for?
Very unfortunate. So MIBR getting some momentum back in their favor. I wonder if we're going to see a timeout from the side of Furia.
There was the spam through the pit that you were mentioning. 'Cause you're right. They dropped the Viper's Pit in there. They put the sorry, not the Sova ult. What's the other one that they invested?
The
Oh,
tail
Price's
off.
ult. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Armageddon.
For the map?
Yeah, 2 big ultimates invested with no outcome for the side of Furia. And now there's the timeout now. All things considered, not too bad of a half from this attacking side. I feel like they did a good job of stopping a snowball, but now these post plants have not gone in their favor.
Well, I think
And they've tried a lot of different things, Doug. They've tried being aggressive. They've tried playing actual utility. I think.
I mean,
Furia
what's going
need
on?
to
I
use
don't
their
think they
composition,
need to
use
change
their
up too
mollies to, like,
much.
infinite
They're
delay.
Getting over towards the sites is
And
just the
obviously
after
easier said
plants.
than
Maybe
done.
they just need to plant like top of
But
site if they go over
especially
towards
the
A.
B side of the map.
Maybe
MIBR
if
have
they
been
plan
giving
over
that for
towards
free
B, just
off
add
of,
a
like,
luck
one
in.
KO dagger.
Yeah, I worry.
Problem is now you
were
would imagine
mentioning
MIBR
Furia,
actually like
decent
fight the
half so far. They
sites.
stopped the first snowball. It feels like they managed to get past the first snowball, but now there's an avalanche coming.
Yeah.
I mean, they have not had any success.
They might even
the
go
last
super
couple
aggro on
rounds.
defense
MIBR
here,
has been able
to
to
be honest.
effectively fight through these retakes and get defuses, and yes, some were closer than others, but they seem to have figured something out.
And now you look at this buy from the side of Furia, and it's worrisome. I mean, light armor across the board. You have a player with a bulldog. This is going to be a rough one.
That is interesting because it's not like they don't have gun.
Porygon.
They're choosing not to invest
Behave
in
yourself.
presumably to get a couple more chances at gun rounds
That was funny though.
in this half.
But Rafa's not even going to have a rifle in the next round.
Yeah.
Icebox is going to have to deal with all this utility. Furia have done a good job of not getting picked by the operator in the first, 15, 30 seconds of the round. It's been in the mid-round on the actual site hits where Icebox has been getting a lot of the kills.
I can't believe they're still checking this. And they got a kill on Artine. Aspas threatened to leave. Procs the dash,
Ooh.
puts a bullet between
Oh,
Havoc's
he's committed.
eyes, and then gets out.
He's trying to, at least.
Blades in play, too.
Look at the respect given. Furia have to freeze, use those knives, find out where Aspas is, but he dodges. Now he's able to reposition with that operator, and yeah, Furia want none of this. They're leaving.
Yeah, this is nice though. Question mark created over
Problem
towards
is they
here.
don't have any
And
space
back
A.
of yellow,
I mean,
really.
They have some presence
Instant
in
rotate
B,
out.
And they've got the turret to make sure there's nothing kind of going
Bit
on
of
behind them. You have
smoke
no
this
idea
one
if
up as
someone's
they
still
go
past
back.
410. You don't know
I
if
do
someone's
like
up.
this though from
And now
Cortezia.
they've got the pit that they're going to have to deal with, too.
Yeah, nicely timed pit from Shenum right there.
Ooh.
But look at this little
30
gap in
seconds
mid.
left.
They
He
put
saw an
the
opening.
wait. They put the turret far back and then he just took it away as he's pushing down middle. This is so weird.
Yeah.
Nice reaction, nice flick.
Crispy
This is
out
a
the meat.
really
Yeah.
rough spot for
Falls.
Shenum. Let's see what he can do. He's
Verto's
got
gonna return the
14
favor.
seconds though. He has a
Now 10
molly so he
seconds
can
left. The
stop the
spike's still not
first
planted. They still have
original
to get
tap
through
of the
the
10
plant.
seconds left.
Committing to it now, Rafa.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give it
We'll
up. He
see.
probably
The
knows that
Shenum
they're
does
watching
not
him
choose
as
to
well.
push the
This is
pace.
very smart from Shenum to not go for that.
You still have KO Molly. You still have the Teo missiles online.
Remember, Aspas with an op here and still has the blades from the beginning of the round. Shenum, this is a big kill.
Oh.
You know, he was waiting for it just on the other side. Not connecting. I mean, where did the pellets go? Meanwhile, Aspas from on high gets his
I
three.
love how he played
Shenum
this.
gets the
He
last,
actually
and
gave
that's
him like
another
full
retake
respect to.
success for MIBR.
Yeah. Just going to see that infinite diffuse bug right here when we see the scoreline pop up. But yeah, Aspas with those knives. I mean, the double dip, by the way, on yellow, just full confidence, taking out Havoc, who, by the way, Havoc got the first blood onto Artsine.
Yeah.
And it was clean. But I'm surprised there's no punish right after this. I mean, Aspas is stuck here. And yeah, he's got 2 smokes to work with, but the fact that he's not traded allows for this to happen, and that post-plant utility doesn't come into play at all. No KO Molly. The Teo missiles do come through, but the timing's just not there.
Full steam ahead for MIBR. 4 rounds in a row.
4 diffuses in a row as well.
And this time, Artsine returning the favor. Getting the best of Havoc at the beginning of the round. Must be an interesting spot here for Aspas. Still has the op, but he does have the wall.
Yeah, I
from
mean, he
Artsine
is playing like
to be
really
able to play
safe
a
on this
little bit
one.
more safely.
Yeah, this is a wall that we saw G2 throwing out as well. To
This is the
delay
first time he's actually
all
like
that
properly
E-space.
re-peaked this angle.
Allows you to slowly creep back in to this yellow area and take another angle. Aspas is so good in these moments as well.
I think it was Wyatt.
Yeah,
who was
he's
talking
not
about
giving
it
them
on the
easy
desk, how
picks.
It hasn't felt like Aspas has needed to be Aspas.
And even with this, they
He's
had a
currently
wall
14
behind,
and
can
4,
trade off.
so, he's certainly putting on a performance. His dad this round though, as Furia pushes a little bit further up. Khalil is so far ahead of everything right now.
Great Molly though to delay that spike being planted. You have to freeze again, and that time is running lower and lower and lower.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no idea if somebody, you have the turret that's back garage, but you're running the danger of getting wrapped here.
30 seconds left.
What does work into their favor is this KO knife. You could use it on the site.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more mollies to delay you
Leno
here.
has double shock though.
But at some point, I mean, you gotta stick this plant.
They're certainly patient with it. Rafa hitting down onto it now as Cortesia is not able to connect on the shots. Swing out.
They got nice
from the
info from
Viper.
this.
And it's a lethal one at that. Is again another
it's
diffuse
looking rough.
for MIBR. Another retake.
It actually,
for
I mean, it had a
MIBR,
lot of
another round
potential at
win
the beginning, but
for MIBR.
It's getting out of hand right
Yeah,
now.
it is,
And
it
Furia,
really is.
it's what I was talking about earlier in those post plants. It's half in, half
KO
out.
knife, yeah, he sent
I mean,
to do the header.
we
with
had,
him.
I believe it was Rafa planning the spike and then running all the way back to yellow while Khalil is running up the rope, giving a 1v1,
Right.
and then he is left on site to try to trade, balance the score, and it's just not on the same page.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, guys, we need to move. We need to move faster. They're standing still. We're standing still, and that's why these rounds are getting close. We need.
Yeah, so I mean,
My no comms guy.
Yeah. I mean,
there's that mid-round communication. Verno saying we need to be a little bit more proactive. Yeah, we're on the defensive side, but
there's a little proactivity for you. Aspas taking the aggro line with the op connecting.
jeez. Another first blood for Aspas. 15 kills. This operator, I mean, in NRG's nightmares, now in Furia's nightmares. Something different, though, is the first time that Heat has taken space in this mid-tube. He's going to get cleared out, though. What a great drone from Verno. Oh, my goodness.
Dude, part of the issue for Furia, you were mentioning it's nightmares from Aspas is off. The problem for them is it's been nightmares for 5 weeks.
Of his
Yeah.
communication. He's basically the Zolces of
going.
MIBR.
Aspas
Mate,
human.
we can't go.
I mean, if you slow
That is the
down
complete
here,
opposite.
if you're
Surely
Furia,
we can't go
Havoc is
from
currently playing B by
no
himself, and maybe you
calls,
can manipulate rotations a
no
little bit, but the problem is
comms
when you're in a 3v5
to
like
he's
that,
now
it's
the
not like you
vibes
have enough
guy.
advantage to help spread the map out.
He's the vibes guy.
Great entry, though. It allows you to get that Armageddon online, and there's a lot of players in this
That'll
backside
be so
area.
sick.
Aspas needs to be a little bit
That'll be
careful here.
the sickest turnaround ever.
He's good. He dodges that.
30 seconds left.
Ult invested,
And
high ground
sold
taken,
it.
and now they can flood in behind it. And
40
once again,
story.
we're finding ourselves in what
Oh boy.
could be a diffuse situation. Yep.
God,
Khalil
it's
takes
getting
one to the
really
back of the
rough,
head,
isn't it?
Assassination style. Aspas gets another, and Havoc, who, if you remember, was on the opposite side of the map, is now left on the outside looking in once more.
And that was the call. I'm assuming Verno made that call as well. I mean, we heard him do that little insert in that last round, the end of the last round, he was proactive. He was the one that used that drone to clear out all of mid, take out
this
the
is the
lurk,
first Furia match you've watched in a
the
while.
one that called to speed up because everyone saw
Yeah,
Havoc
it hasn't been great this year,
side of the
man.
map. It's a 4v2 on the actual A site.
It's always like this,
Numbers
dude.
advantage.
Unless you get Lotus, like
just
if you're watching
completely
Lotus, you know it's gonna be
Nowhere
a
to
close
play if you're
game. Like
Furia.
they can take on anyone.
And we're already on
Every
the
other
last
map, it's not there.
of this half of Icebox, Doug.
MIBR with 6 rounds in a row. Cortesia's ult and Artzine's ult to play with. Not to mention Verno, not too far off of his. If need be, again, an aggressive line. He's so far up already.
Just so disrespectful.
And the thing is, because of where the knife lands, you don't really know. He could be playing behind 410 where Verno's playing now, or he could be up in your lap like
Everyone's
this.
pinging this pause of
That's what I'm talking about when it comes to
Havoc
that KO
though.
knife information.
Wait.
It's not
Okay, this guy's
clear.
correct, surely.
I mean, look at the drone difference, right? It just sets Icebox up for free kills.
Right there.
Why is there a large sideshow head in my
Artzine's
chat?
did a little bit of damage through an earlier scuffle at the beginning of the round. Khalil has as well.
This is going to get shut down. Shenum is waiting right outside of the smoke.
Just enough HP.
Mods. Mods. What's going on?
And if you're MIBR right now, what are the odds they're alone? I mean, no one from the side of MIBR is at this A site. It's so obvious that it's a B hit.
17. He's got the dash proc.
You don't see it, Prodigy? Honestly, count yourself lucky, mate.
Stuck.
Spike down. B.
He's now left alone in a 1v4.
Yeah,
Final round of the half, doesn't have the spike. Now they know where he is.
Okay, I mean, the first beginning, like
A 9-3
6,
half
7
for
rounds,
MIBR.
it was
It
feeling kind of
competitive at
nice,
the
but
beginning, and we talked a lot about
with the
how the
stabilized
pace
heavy.
that Furia
Go to
were
ski.
injecting
Thank you
into
so much for the
rounds were,
prime, mate. I
you know,
appreciate
kinda
the
being
2
a little
months.
problematic
Thank you for
for
doing that,
MIBR,
dude.
but they settled the
Bit of
ship and
support.
they rattle off, what is that, 8 rounds in a row, 7 rounds in a row to close the half?
And so many diffuses. Their retakes were on point. Furia could not win a post plant. This is the problem with running no clear information in your composition on a map like this.
19
especially
to
against a player
4.
like Icebox.
The double wall comp on the retakes proved to be too much. We're going to throw it to a quick break. The second half of Icebox when we return.
Did you have any thought of skipping this game and going to bed early? Nah, we committed. We committed. We watched some shockers in the past, man. I'm not gonna start skipping some of the shockers now. Sometimes you just gotta tank them. It builds character. Plus, I want to see like what they're working on, man. Like I want to see like what work they've been doing in the week. Because on some of these maps, I feel like they're getting away with not too much. Did the previous game make you less confident in G2 or more confident in C9? Pretty much the same, to be honest. I think I've always been pretty high up on C9. Say this, but I don't watch China. Dude, some of the stuff in China, though. Like, in the nicest way possible. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. That's criminal. I was gonna say something really bad. So some of the China games are really out there. Just to say that much.
First half of Icebox's MIBR was able to run away with it and build a 6-round lead. Now it's going to be
China's got more trophies than me. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Hey, I'm not saying the EDG aren't good.
I'm Doug. With me is Dre
I'm all just going for the middle of the. I'm all just going for like around 7 of the other teams.
Some of that was just him teeing off, and I do very quickly. We caught him on the camera there for just a second. Got to give Fraud his credit.
And even then, I would say some of the top teams as well do provide me with some wild games sometimes.
Yeah, it shows a lot about a team that's confident in their ability to retake. Now they're on the attacking side and ready for pushes as well.
Brother, what sort of confidence was that? He was up by himself with a frenzy. Like,
It's
you know what? That's fine.
It's just textbook from MIBR right now. I mean, not really
Like,
needing
the
to
OG
do
was a
anything.
wild
Rafa
game.
just catches a stray.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
Poor guy. I mean,
I didn't see this one.
I mean, you're in a ranked game, that happens to you.
Some of the China games are great,
You know,
but I would say like
sometimes you play Valor.
more often than not, they're
Sometimes
just a
Valor
little
plays
bit
and that's
Aim
been the case
Joel,
for Furia for the last
no
5 weeks.
discipline games.
And it
Brutal.
doesn't seem like it's going to get any better.
That's brutal.
What is this freeze from MIBR? Has
There's-
something bad happened? Like, has a
They're-
mouse
they're-
disconnected?
They're playing a fundamentally sound way.
Wins
I mean, they're waiting
Furia
for
or
any type of
Koi?
re-aggression
Like,
from Furia.
Koi
They
wins.
understand that Furia on the attacking side were basically
But
running it down.
I think
on
like
both
Furia
flanks.
would win Lotus though. Boo,
So
for
now just
sure.
playing really methodically, trying to bait out any more
30
pushes,
seconds
seeing if
left.
there's any more mistakes that Furia are going to make.
Like they were probably fighting Freedom.
Well, I think as you think about MIBR, they are in a 5v3. They managed to get the spike down. We'll continue this here in just a moment.
I'm glad that fixie can never happen.
Given
Dude,
away.
sometimes I wish they'd bring
Life
back
has been
a lock-in,
At the
man.
hands of who else?
Last player standing.
Lock-in could be
Heat will
incredible.
join him, and Rafa's 13 HP surely will not be enough to stand the test in a 1v5. I think when we think about teams that we expect to compete on the international
Ishiki,
level,
thank you
and
so
not
much for the
just
200
compete
bits,
to
dude.
qualify,
Thank you,
but
thank you.
compete for hardware, right?
Yeah.
Compete for
Oh
championship.
yeah, that is true.
You want
That's
to
a big game
see
for both of them.
dispose of teams that are on paper less than they are, and they should be able to get through these games pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
So you take a look at some matchups like this, and even to draw back to the first series, Jogamo talked about it. If there's no pressure, they can be a little sluggish.
Yeah.
Perhaps, but for MIBR, that has not been the case today.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're on top of it, and
Yeah.
I think that just shows the discipline that they have as a roster, right?
Sure.
And it's really important though, because we have to keep in mind this is a new team. We got rookies on here. Yeah, they play like veterans. Yeah, whatever. But still, the fact that they could just be holding W probably and take this victory on the attack after they got those 2 picks and the dink on the Rafa, but they instead decide to hold, I think says a lot about their approach and how they're taking every team serious.
yeah. Including Furia in this situation. You're absolutely right. Take a look at the buy for the attack. Classic FPX.
I do it of the reevaluation of
Two goes to
teams.
carry into the next, and again, another
That's what they go
testament to
for.
how they're playing the game as cleanly and as perfectly as you would expect them to, as you would expect any team to.
Yeah, just a basic 4-1 contact approach. So good with that harbor. Everything.
Why did
at
Furia
this
pick
site,
a cent? I don't know. We're gonna hopefully find out.
And now with that spike
I
being
imagine
planted,
they're
it's gonna make it really
looking
impossible
to
for Furia to
stage
take into this.
2, and they're
It's a
trying to
recyclable utility. Walls on walls.
practice some maps.
And then you have Icebox sitting on top yellow, just hunting. Maybe everybody from Furia gonna just drop to that spike, not build up any of those ultimates on the side of MIBR. Artson, the closest one to that. He has 3 orbs gained. Maybe he'll go hunting. Yeah, there it is. Drops his Guardian. He's gonna hunt with the Ghost. As many as he can get here. Even if he falls, it's all good.
He might. No, he gets nothing.
Deleted.
Yeah, insta double dink.
Heard some yelling in the arena after that one. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna take the bait. I'm not gonna be mean. MIBR again up to 11. Furia now with guns to respond though, including heavy armor on 3 players.
Let's see if Furia try to play into that contact style that MIBR just did towards that B side of the map. It looks like Havoc is going to have to deal with that if that comes.
What do they got for their
How the players
defense
walk there
rounds?
too, that
Big
jet
defense
off the
rounds.
dash, you could disrespect the harbor wall if it's there.
Knife over
Yeah, I mean, he had
towards
some good moments in
B,
the first
hits
half, for
2.
sure.
Smoke goes up on middle.
Good dagger to delay, but this is the vintage, actual vintage
damn.
Icebox dashing on the top 2, getting so much info for his team.
Rafo's just decapitated.
Bro, it's just... This is kind of nice, though.
Mid, he knows heat's here. Oh my gosh.
I mean, with surgical
The 3
precision,
pass a
It's
mid.
It's just sickening.
2 went through, 1 spots middle.
11-3 right now.
No matter what, you can have
12-3.
trades. They
And
only spot the
inevitability.
jet falls back. It looks like it's just
Wait,
1 pass and
the spike
defaulting.
got stuck here at the A site.
Hang on.
The 2 here.
Hang on.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, I'm
never
not sure
mind,
how he
he's
hit
still
that
alive.
one, but
40 HP. Surely.
Well, a nice round from Aspas. I
Surely
kind of
he
like
gets
this
it,
round
right?
from MIBR.
Yeah,
That's
And he
cool.
does.
Yeah, 12 for MIBR. Aspas has
Match point.
an obscenely
Right,
high
9
amount
chances.
of kills in a very small amount of rounds played.
I think he's trying to compete with Cryo in the plus and minus at this point. Yeah, what entries? I mean, what do you do? What do you do?
Yeah, and I think, again, I don't know, I want to draw attention more to the fact that this feels like an MIBR that's hitting their peak at just the right time, heading into playoffs. We got to talk about the MIBR of old to the
Yeah.
MIBR of now. At the
That
beginning
is
of the year, we
true.
talked about this, Trey. I remember having this conversation with you. They're changing the mindset around MIBR. They're changing the way people talk about them. They're changing the way people think about them. This is a team that can be competing for hardware in Toronto.
Yeah, actually.
Enemy kill.
Especially when Icebox is in
He's-
shots like that.
He's farming
Fry's
24 to
getting
4.
absolutely instant. And now the pace, it's being put on Furia at this A site.
That alarm bot's still up, but it seems like Shenna might be able to get past it and take up 2. Meanwhile, Kalu getting 2 kills on
down
site,
A.
making things competitive.
His dash didn't come out in time.
Now falls, all attention can be turned
Oh
towards the
boy.
site.
Dude, he
Khalil.
ends it like that as well.
Never
2
really had a
individual
chance.
1v1s.
13-3 for
Well,
MIBR. It
I was
was
holding
slaughter.
out a
I
little
mean,
bit of hope at the beginning,
was
but then they kind of
3-3,
just won 13
and then
rounds
it
in a
turned
row,
into
no?
13-3.
Yeah, letting Icebox through against
What was
Icebox.
it? No, maybe it was 11. They got pistol, right?
It's tough. It's always going to be tough. He has the
Yeah.
kill record on this map.